Hello everybody, Jimmy Promo here, and in this video I'm going to show you guys how you'd be able to use your Samsung Galaxy Note 5.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
So the very first feature that we'll talk about is Screen Off Memo. So what this is when the phone is off and it's sitting in your pocket or it's sitting on the table, you pick it up, you have to write something extremely quick. So you just pull out the S Pen, you don't have to do anything else, and it almost turns as if into a chalkboard. Now, right now what I'm going to do is, let's say you run into somebody and their name is Jimmy, and then this right here is their phone number, 123456789, and then I'm going to hit save because I do want to get a hold of this person later on because, I don't know, maybe we have a meeting. So this is what you'd be able to do. Where this is saved is inside of S Note via Action Memos. If any of you guys know what Action Memos is, this is where you'd be able to link this with an action. Meaning, when you open this up, click on the More on the top right hand side and click on Link to Action. Inside of here, since it's dealing with a name and a number, I do want to save this person as a contact, but it does move all the way over to the right hand side where it even involves tasks. So let's add this person into our contact list. There it is. You'd be able to hit on save, so then you have their phone number in your dial pad already. So that's what actually makes it really easy, is because you already wrote it down and maybe you like to have them as a contact. So let's open up this memo back, go back into Note, and we're going to state that we are going to meet with them at, let's do Starbucks, and we'll do it Monday at 8 a.m. Now, what else can you do with this? Hit on More on the top right hand side, click on Set Reminder, and set it for 7 a.m. on Monday. So this way you're getting it 1 hour ahead of time. Or if this is later on in the day, you can do it 1 hour and 6 hours later. So in this way, this will give you a notification. You can open it back up, and now you're right back to where you were when you created your note, so you knew what this meeting was about, or maybe it's a shopping list. So that is Screen Off Memo and a little bit more action you'd be able to do with it. Now I would like to note one little difference that I like about the upgrade between the Note 4 to the Note 5. Now it is very small, but this actually does help everybody out. When you open up Air Command, you can see over here, it's just the little icons, and you have to hover the S Pen over to see exactly what it is. Over here, it actually makes it extremely easy, and you also have the settings right down here to change anything that's going on inside of Air Command. So not only do you have the icons, the name, you can also move this around, and then there is the settings. So Samsung just made it extremely easy. Now let's look over at Action Memo extremely quick. So you guys can also see the little bit of a difference. Up here again, it only shows little icons and you don't know exactly what they are. You can take a very good guess and then you'd probably be right. But this one you don't even have to take a guess, you know exactly what they are. List, pen, eraser, delete, save, and more. Alright, so let's head over into what all Air Command can do. Now, let's go back to a screen. All you have to do is hover the S Pen. You're going to see a little baby dot on your screen. When you hit the S Pen button, this is where this pops up. Let's go into the settings. This is where you'd be able to choose all the different shortcuts that you have. So up here you can see that you'd be able to delete any of these, and then you can add something else back in there. Now what I'll do is I will actually put that back in there since I do use my S Note, and then this way we'd be able to go back into the main screen. You also have a floating icon, which is right here, that you'd be able to see that if you want to, it would be able to show that in all the different screens. And then when you detach the S Pen, do you want it to turn on or do you not want it to turn on? So that is the little toggles for that. So now those were the very simple settings of Air Command, which makes it extremely easy. This up here, I'm going to actually delete and get rid of. Now, this little floating icon on the very bottom right-hand side is really fun. Not only can you just move it around, but if you wanted to, you can always delete it on the very top. Or if you want to throw it somewhere, you can switch it different size. This is really small, but really fun. If you're like, ugh, get out of here. So let's talk a little bit about the Air Command with the very top three. So here is Action Memo. This is something that we talked about with the Screen Off Memo earlier in the video. And so let's say that you ran into somebody and their name is Bob, which that's a very bad Bob, but I'm pretty far back from this camera here. But let's say that his phone number is 23456. Now, one of the things you'd be able to do up here is you'd be able to do link to action. Now, what if you only want to message this person and you don't really want to get anything else in there? Maybe you wrote, an email address and a website down here. Just off select it, circle what you are actually wanting to do, and you can tell it only pick the phone numbers, or the phone number, then you can just hit on message. So now you can just send this person a text message. So just keep that in mind. You'd also be able to do that if you have an email address. So let's just say that this was an email address. This is where you'd be able to hit on email. Or maybe it was their website. Again, you can do the internet. So that is actually pretty much how you'd be able to use Action Memo. So play with it and have fun. The next one is Smart Select. So Smart Select is something that I actually really like. So down over here, you guys see that I have the Daily Bible. And what you're able to do is I'd be able to just hover the S Pen, hit the S Pen button, click on Smart Select. Then I'd be able to just select this area here. Then I'd be able to share it via Twitter or anything else that I would like to do. So the reason why I like this, let's use another example too. So let's say that we go on to, let's keep it on the home page. And this right here is maybe a article of clothing that you would like to purchase offline. So you just hit the S Pen button, hit on Smart Select, select this area here. And if you like to share it, you'd be able to do it as a text message. So once you choose text message, or you do Facebook, or you do anything else, all you want to do is just share one little tidbit of something you see on the screen. And maybe you don't want it to be in your gallery. That is what I love about Smart Select. I'm able to share this without it saving and saving and saving inside of my gallery. So if I'm sending Christmas gifts and Christmas ideas, I don't want to have 15 things in my gallery. I just want them to know what to buy me and go from there. So that is one thing I do like about Smart Select. Now, let's head over into the very next one, which is ScreenWrite. ScreenWrite, this is going to be everybody's baby right here. So let's go on to the internet. With ScreenWrite, what you're able to do is you'd actually be able to hit on the S Pen button. Let's say maybe you're in a text message, fight with somebody, or you're online shopping, again, for gifts, or you just want to send somebody, a full list of movies that one of your favorite actors was doing. So you do ScreenWrite. Now, the first thing you'd be able to do is you can write on the screen if you would like. The other thing is on the very bottom left-hand side called Scroll Capture. So this is a pretty big one here. The huge buzz around this phone is Scroll Capture. What it does is it captures what is on the screen, and then you can actually do more. Capture more. Capture more. And you can actually do this up to 21 or 22 times with Capture Scroll. Now, maybe you want to send somebody, the text message thread of a fight, and you're sending them 10 screenshots of what's going on. Not anymore, people. You can send them one image. Check this out. So I'm going to hit done. Now, this will actually shrink on out. This is actually what the file looks like that you'd be able to send to your friend. And all they're going to have to do is just zoom in a little bit, and bam, here we go. They can actually see everything that's going on. Now, this is also where the ScreenWrite comes into play, where you can write on the screen. So, boom, right there. That's a very good movie. Let's scroll on down. Maybe you're shopping and you want this one in a size medium. And let's go over here, and you want this one in a black. So just as examples, all you got to do now is you can save it into your gallery, or you can share it. If you share it, it's not going to be stored in your gallery, which most people actually kind of like. And here we are looking at the image inside of the screenshots. So this would be the one image you would send instead of the 15 screenshots to that one person. So I would definitely give a big round of applause to Samsung on Scroll Capture. Let's talk a little bit about Screen Lock. So one of the different cool things that you can see that's actually pretty hidden on the Samsung Galaxy devices is something referred to as directional lock. So maybe you're walking or you're busy, you're multitasking, and every single time you have to unlock your phone, you're hitting a PIN or a password or whatever, and you always have to look at the phone. This is actually a way you don't even have to look at the phone, and I have mine set up to where it's basically like a game. Up, up, down, down. So where you'd actually be able to get into that setting is hit on the settings icon on the very top right-hand side. You'll scroll all the way down to where you can see the accessibility, and there it is, direction lock. So you go inside of direction lock, and then you can set up to where you got the vibration feedback, sound feedback. You also show the directions and things like that too. Now up over here, this is where you have the screen lock type, and then this is where you'd also be able to set it up and change it and things like that. So I'm going to confirm it. You could do it anywhere between 4 and 8 directions. Now the next thing let's talk about is the fingerprint, because this one does have a good fingerprint reading. So all you got to do is place your thumb on the fingerprint reader on the bottom, which is also the home key. And usually what I do is I actually turn my phone the full 360 degrees so I can be at any angle and unlock my phone. Also, it reads it extremely quick. Then I take it with just the one hand, and then I move it around a few times, making sure I get it perfect. I also place it on a table. This way, if this is on a table and you're trying to unlock it, this is an easy way to make sure that you have that fingerprint ready for it. And the very last one, done. Then this is where you'll be able to type in your password. Once you have typed in the password onto your cell phone, now you actually have your screen lock is now for your fingerprint reading. And I will have a little tidbit here. I would always do 2 fingers. I wouldn't really do more than that. I would do your right thumb and also your left thumb, so it doesn't matter which hand this is in to actually unlock your phone. So let's talk a little bit about the ultra high quality audio that the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 is able to output. So I want to make sure you guys know that there is a difference between a MP3, which is condensed file, and then larger files such as FLAC. Now, if you are a big audiophile and you love music, you want to hear it the way it's supposed to be heard, all the vocals, the instruments, and the volume is exactly where it should be and nothing is lost, as well as the highs does not get distorted, you're going to be happy with this phone. So I have an example. I have the ultra high quality audio album from Maroon 5, and what you want to do is actually have a headset that can take that type of highs, mids, and lows. So you plug it on in. So I wouldn't suggest, any beats or anything like that. Samsung does have an amazing audio selection off of the level series. You have the level over, level on. They also have a couple Bluetooth devices coming out that can also do it too. So when you click on a song, this is where it's playing actually in the headphones at the moment, but I do have to have the headset plugged in to show you how to turn this on. So right here you can see it's a 24-bit audio file instead of the normal 16 that's an MP3. Again, 16-bit is going to be compressed and you're not getting everything that you should as if you're sitting in the studio with these guys. So let's go up over into the More, and this is where you go to Sound Alive. Inside of Sound Alive on the very bottom, you click and you press on Ultra High Quality Upscaler. And if you want to, you can also do the Sound Alive Plus. That's pretty nice too. A little bit more of a surround sound. But this little button right here, the Ultra High Quality Upscaler, this just changed it basically from DVD quality up to Blu-ray quality in your ears. You're going to definitely be able to tell a difference with this within 3 seconds of comparing it to either somebody else's phone or turning on that little switch. So if you love your music, I would definitely go for the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 for the Ultra High Quality Upscaler. But just remember, the larger files are huge. You are pretty much comparing a 9 megabyte type of a file all the way up to maybe the 100 megabytes up to 150 megabytes. So it does take up more space, but you are able to, get a 64 gig version of the Note 5. Let's talk a little bit about multi-window on the Note 5. Now this is perfect because it does have a 5.7-inch screen. And let's say you're watching America's Got Talent and you're listening to Benton Blunt, who is actually an amazing singer, and you're telling your buddy, oh yeah, I'm watching America's Got Talent, and they're like, oh yeah, what does he look like again? So the recent app button on the very bottom left-hand side, just press and hold on that for about 2 seconds. And these are the different applications you would be able to open up simultaneously working at the exact same time. So let's just say that we want to send a picture of what this guy looks like over to your buddy. So let's go into messages. Let's start to have a conversation with my best friend, Random. So I'm going to go on down over here, but I do want to take a little picture of what's going on up here. So all I got to do is hit on the little circle in the middle. This one that's right here, it looks as if you're kind of moving a screen. You touch on that icon, and then I'd be able to actually press and hold and bring it on down to my messaging. And then now I'm actually sending a picture of exactly what he looks like. So the one thing you got to remember is that you could be looking at maybe an email, and then you can have maps down here. So maybe you'd want to move the address down into maps. Or maybe you are looking at a calendar event, and you want to move it on down over to a contact. Or you're getting a text message on top, and you got to send an email to somebody who needs to have an address or whatever. So you'll be able to read the text message. You can basically press and hold, move everything down over into your emails, and that is actually how you do the multitasking. Let's go ahead and check out the camera in the Samsung Galaxy Note 5. So this one right here does have the 16 megapixel camera on the back. It also has the 5 megapixel on the front. It has optical image stabilization, which is hardware, not software. And in terms of the video stabilization, that one is also software there. So now when you're actually doing videos, especially when it's getting a little bit, darker outside, you're going to see a significant change. So let's head over into the modes on the very bottom left-hand side. So right down over here, you actually can notice that I do have an app or a shooting mode that was downloaded. All you have to do is scroll on down, go to the download button, because I do use the dual camera quite a bit. And you have all the rest of them here that you'd be able to download. So if there's any of these you would like to download again, all you have to do is hit on download. But let's go back into the very top 2 new shooting modes that was added in. This one is the video collage. So this one's actually really fun. This one's set up to where you have a screen on the left and then a screen on the right. You can also do 1, 2, 3, and then here is the 4 screens. So let me show you an example, and then let's go back into that right there. So this is actually a comparison between an older man and a younger man playing some golf. So you can do this with basketball. You can do it with almost anything you want, and you hit on play. So you can see there the younger man got 2 swings in, and this older man over here only got 1. So I just got to give him a little bit of a grief. But what you can tell is that you'd be able to record a couple different segments, and then you'd be able to watch all of them at the exact same time. So instead of a picture collage, it's a video collage. So this one right here, I did it with the 1x1. And you also can be able to do series. And then slow motion's pretty fun. You got all 4 different screens are playing at a different speed playback. And then over here you can do the 4 squares. So maybe you're watching your buddy play basketball. Maybe the top left is them dunking. The top right is them dribbling. Bottom left is them shooting a free throw. And then the very bottom right hand side is them shooting a 3-point. And all you got to do is just record, and then you wait. And then you'll be able to record the very next square, and then wait. So it's nothing that you can really go back and close out of the app. Just make sure you stay in this app to get all 4 of them going. Then you have different intervals of time. 3, 6, 9, or 15 seconds. So that is the very brand new video collage, which is really extremely fun and cool to do. And then you have live broadcast. So this one I don't have connected to a YouTube channel that I actually use, but all you got to do is hit on live broadcast, and then what is going to happen is that it'll actually prepare the live broadcast. And what will happen is on the left hand side over here, this is where you'd be able to include all the different people you'd like to add into and send a text message. So you can send it to 20 different people. You can do it with the front facing or the rear facing camera. But if you can go over into the settings, this is where you can do invite only, or you can actually make it public and anybody else can watch it. Here's your different video sizes, and then you can also do an autosave. So what will happen is when you shoot this video, you hit on record live, and it's starting the live broadcast. And so this right here might take 20 seconds, maybe 40 seconds, just to get everything established, made, and as well as the URL link. Now, right here, it didn't pop up with anything in terms of sending a link because I didn't choose anybody to send to. What will happen is once you click on the up to 1 all the way up to 20 people to send it to, it will say that it just sent a link. You can see who is liking and who is not liking your live broadcast. So this is really cool if I want to do a live broadcast of maybe a questionnaire with phones, or maybe I'm out of state and I need to take something of maybe my son or daughter whom is doing a sport, and I need to send it on over to whoever I'd like to watch the video. And so then it is going to be a 40-second delay. So all this does is link you with YouTube, have a live broadcast so they can watch your stream live. So if you heard that the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 has the ability of saving a file as RAW file, all you have to do is hit on mode, click on the Pro shooting mode on the very top, and you click on the settings icon. This is where you'd be able to scroll on down and see that this is the setting. You turn it on and you hit save as RAW file. And it'll also save as a JPEG for you as well. And inside of Pro, this is where you can change the shutter speed. And this right over here actually makes it to where it takes 10 seconds to take the photo, which you can have a complete dark room, you can have a light in front of you, and then this is where, if you wanted to, you'd be able to wave a little light in the air, and then you'd be able to write a letter or word out of a light. One of the big things that was on the Samsung Galaxy S6 was the ability to actually change the screen grid as well as the theme of your phone. So all you got to do is press and hold on any of an open area of the home screen. And just so you guys know, on the left-hand side, this is where the briefing is at, and that is simply how you turn it off. I'm not a big fan of it, so I always turn it off. But down over here, you have themes. So if you're looking to have different themes on your device, all you got to do is click on one of these up over here, or you can actually go inside of the theme store. And then you can scroll on down, look around at all of these. You can also go over to all, and all you got to do is find one that you like, choose it, and then you'd be able to install it. And it actually changes the entire look of your entire phone. So here's the material theme, and I'm actually going to download this one. And then this is where it'll actually change not only the screen backgrounds, but also the different icons that is on the screen as well. And so if you would like to change up your dialing pad, this just basically makes it look more stock, a little bit more default, a little bit more vanilla than the old looking TouchWiz. Once this has finished downloading, you'll be able to apply the theme. And now your phone is running and looking a little bit different, but I do like the material because it is a little bit lighter than what TouchWiz was. So you might actually see a little performance boost as well as a little bit more battery saving. So now let's head over into the very next one, which is Screen Grid. Right now mine is set up as a 5x5. You can also do a 4x4, 4x5, and 5x5. But I'm a little bit more modern. I like to have more icons and such like that on my Samsung phone, so I do like the 5x5. Now, if you notice that I have some of these different folders here and you want to figure out how do you make a folder, all you gotta do is just press and hold on a little application, place it on top of the next one, and then you'll be able to enter the name as well as change the different color of the folder itself. So what I'm going to do is I don't really want that in there, so I'm going to take it on out and move it right back to where I was from before. Alright, so on the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 and also the Samsung Galaxy S6, the S6 Edge, the Galaxy S6 Edge Plus, some of the things that you guys might want to know about and some people forget is that there is actually built-in wireless charging in these devices. So check this out. This is a wireless charging pad right behind here. All I got to do is place it on in there, and it is now actually charging. As you saw, the 66% actually popped on up. And the other thing you'd be able to do is maybe this one bothers some people a little bit more, but I will help you out. This right here is referred to as an OTG micro SD. What OTG stands for is on the go. And this right here is on the go adapter with micro SDs inside, which are mine. The very top one up here is a reader. This one down here is just a holder. So I have 64 gig and a 32 gig. So for all of those of you who need to expand your memory on the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 or any of the other phones that are internal storage, all you got to do is get this little guy right here. And this is actually where I store all of my movies. So again, I don't like to store my pictures and videos that I take on SD cards because they can go corrupt, they can get lost. But all you need to do is I use mine for movies. Then this way I'd be able to watch this at any point in time. So I hope this video has helped you guys out. Make sure you guys hit on like and subscribe. And if there's anything else that I've missed or anything I want to go into more detail about, I will actually make individual playlists or little videos pertaining to those. So then this way I'm not missing anything with the Samsung Galaxy Note 5. So make sure you guys go out there and grab this phone. You guys will definitely love it. And I'll talk to you later.